Okay, you need to explain in a sentence form, in general, and in a specific ways. Okay, I give you two example on how you should explain for B. Okay, I will explain. I will show you example. I will, assist you to explain at least two relationship that we have from this ERD. And the rest of the relationship you must do on your own. Okay. So the first sample that I want to take here is customer and invoice. Entities customer, entities for invoice. Okay. Okay, invoice here class focus on sales, because the data that we are going to create here related to sales activities. So invoice here related to sales. Okay. In this system, okay, there is a relationship between customer and sales invoice. Of course, in the sales activity, we are going to involve the salespersons, right? Because salesperson are a group of employees who are responsible to promote, sell the product to the customer clients. Salesperson have connection with entity shops because in one shop, in one branch, we are going to hire or assign salespersons. And then salesperson have connection with product lists because salesperson sometimes will focus on specific product lists. Okay. And for the sales activity, of course, we have a connection with product because when we want to sell our product to our customer, of course, we must check the product category or product list that available in the inventory department or production department. Okay. All right. Of course, in one invoice document, we can see the list of the products. So we focus more on, the entities related to sales activities, right? Sales activities only. We don't focus on purchasing. We don't focus on the asset management. We don't focus on the research and development. We don't focus on the admin. No, right? Our focus for this PBL more on sales data, sales activities. Okay, right. So how to describe the first relationship, customer and invoice, sales invoice. So one customer, okay, this is how you explain. First, explain generally. Uh, the relationship between customer and invoice here is one to many relationship. Okay, full stop. Then after that, you need to explain specifically. What does it mean one to many? One for customer and many for invoices. What does it mean with that? So you have to continue to explain specifically. Okay, it indicates that one customer can have many invoices. In a very detailed explanation, it indicates that one customer can purchase many times from our store. There's a meaning of the relationship one customer with many invoices. So we can sell many times to one customer. You can also use that point as well, to describe the relationship. All right. Let's say that we change one to one for customer and one for invoice. That seems not logic. The business is going to limit the customer, the similar customer, to repeat the purchase for future, for later. That's not logic, Glass. We always invite the same customer, please come again, right? If you purchase from our store, we hope that you will come and visit our store again. Meaning to say that you should create another sales order, and then you should create another sales invoices. When the same customer visit your store again, means you are going to create another invoices. So when we talk about another invoices, that's reflect many invoices. That's logic. That's why we cannot simply determine the relationship here is one to one. That's why the relationship customer and invoices is one to many. One customer, they can get our products many times. Meaning to say that we can sell our product to our customer few times, more than one. Okay, that's how you describe the relationship between entities for the customer and invoice. That is what we call it the first answer for your PBL. Okay, I'll give you another example by using salesperson and shop, salesperson entity and shop. Okay. So relationship between shop and salesperson here is one to many or many to one. Sometimes the people will use the opposite ways to describe salesperson uh, and shop or shop with salespersons, but they are similar. But for cardinality method, when you refer figure 19-7, if opposite, they have a different. Yeah, they have a different ways to illustrate the relationships. Okay, but the way you interpret still remain similar. Okay, how we are going to interpret here? Okay, one shop. Okay, one shop. Okay, first you must interpret in using general sentence, general points. The relationship between shop and salesperson here is one to many relationship. Okay, it indicates that one shop. Sometimes the student prefer to use the word of branch. Sometimes the student use store, outlet. It's up to you, class. So you can use shop, outlet, branch, or store. It's up to you. Okay. Let's say that I refer to this ERD. The terms that they use is shop. So one shop can, it indicates that one shop can hire many salesperson, or one shop can have many salespersons. All right. Or many salesperson can be in one shop, can be hired in one shop. That's how we describe the relationship between shop entity and salesperson entity. So remember, first make sure that you describe in general. After that, you indicate the relationship in details. All right. Okay. So I give you two examples already on how to describe relationship between the entities that we have here. So we have another four relationships between entities that you need to do it on your own. Yeah. So of course you need to discuss with your team members. Okay. Any question for B? Yes or no? If no questions, can I proceed to A and C?
So may
Yes.
I ask?
Yeah, sure.
So for the more explanation, we just say for that indicates that one shop can be hired many salesperson.
Can
And
hire
then
many
uh-huh,
salespersons.
okay. And
Mm.
then or just like apa we need to add another means that salesperson can be hired, since means that two explanation in one but same meaning.
Yes, it's okay.
It's
Should be
okay.
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 Mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm. You can explain that it indicates that one shop can have many salesperson,
Oh,
or uh,
I see.
many salespersons can be assigned or can be hired by one shop.
Shop.
Uh,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
so the system here must allow one shop, to pay, let's say, to pay commission to many salesperson, because salesperson normally their income based on commission other than basic salary that they will get from our business. So the system must also allow, the sales activity by many salesperson. So many salesperson can be assigned in one shop. So indicates that one shop can hire many salesperson to pay commission to all of them. Yeah. So what's your team?
Victus.
Victus. Okay, give points for that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. Any other questions before I move to A and B? Sorry, A and C. That's how you answer for B. Actually, I don't have to tell you the answer. Okay, but yeah, you know my teaching style, right? So I always provide my humanities. So I give you two answer already. So don't request for the other four. No, I will facilitate, but doesn't mean that to give you all answer. So the other four relationship here by your group. Okay. If you have this kind of the question during the final exam, so please always aware about the question requirement. If the question silent, does not require you to apply cardinality concept. You can apply this, what we call it, um, denotion method. Okay, uh, but if the questions requires you to have cardinality methods, so please make sure that you are ready, you know, to know how to design the cardinality lines, to visualize or to diagram the relationship between entities. Yeah. Okay. I think I should proceed because I don't receive any questions. So we go to we now discuss, we are now discuss A and C. Yeah. All right. Okay. For A and C class, um, require you to have tables. Okay. We look at A first. State clearly the tables. First, you must have a tables. After you have the tables, you must have fields and data attributes. After you have data attributes, you must have a primary key. After you have primary keys, it's not compulsory to have a foreign keys, but it's good if you can identify which table should have foreign keys. But the tables that we have in the Microsoft Excel must have primary key. So primary key is a must. Optional for foreign keys. After this, I will explain. Okay. Uh, how to apply primary key and foreign keys. Actually, you have explored these two keys, concept from your AIS 615 database design. Database design, if I'm mistaken, the topics. Yeah, that was theory. Okay. So what you have learned before this was theory. Yeah, theory explanation. Now we are going to apply that concept in our Excel practically. Okay, so I will explain first for A. Okay, for A, what you need to do is through your Microsoft Excel. For B, how you are going to provide this answer, how you are going to write this answer. You are going to prepare this answer using Microsoft Word because your final task will be a report preparations. So one of the requirement under appendix will be B. Yeah. So question B. Question B will be your appendix in your report. All right. Okay. Now A and C, you must uh, develop the answer using Microsoft Excel. Okay. I have prepared simple Excel. So I'm going to assess it now. Wait a minute. Okay, can you see the screen for the Excel?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Right. Okay. So this is your Excel, Microsoft Excel. I think you don't have problem for this Microsoft Excel, right? So Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, and Microsoft Word are the software that you need to know, especially accountant. So when you join industry after this, Excel is a kind of software that you need to know. All right, because you are going to use this Excel for audit and accounting process. Yeah, we have the accounting software, but sometimes we need to use this Microsoft Excel for small calculation, a small part of the calculation that cannot be performed by the accounting software. Okay, uh, we are going to have many what we call it sheets that we rename based on the table from the ERD that we have just now. Okay, but before you have the table, specific tables for the entities, you must have one section for business profile. Okay, so one specific section for business profile. Right, so you need to explain about your business details, your business name, your business address, your business phone number, whatever information that you have included in your ENT report, entrepreneurship report, so you can use again in your PBL, in this PBL. Okay, uh, if you notice from the case problem, okay, from the background of the case just now, there's no specific products mentioned. The business is doing well. The business was very successful for the 3 years operations. But from the paragraph, none of the paragraph explained about the specific products, produced or offered by the business to the customer. Why? Because every group from your class must have different products lists. You must have a different business profile. Let's say that Faiz from Victor's group choose for fashion products. Other groups must go to choose the other industry, to choose the other product range, product categories. You cannot copy the same ideas. Okay, right. So of course your business profile reflects your product that you are going to choose. So please uh, prepare your simple business profile here, right? But of course, the detailed explanation about your business profile must be included in your report letter. So what do you have here? Only the temporary information about your business profile. Because during your first progress presentation, you need to make sure that I will understand about what kind of business that you are going to have for this PBL assignment. Okay, right. So whatever information that you want to include is up to you. Business commencement date, business phone number, business activity. But the most important part that I want to know is what kind of the product that you are going to embed in your PBL report. Okay, what kind of products? What kind of business? What we call it, business activities. Okay, business activity or business focus. Okay, so you must have one specific section for business profile. So that will be the thing that you need to present during your first progress presentation. Okay, right. After you have the business profile class, you must also have 5 tables. So in total, if you look at this ERD, yes, we have 6 entities. Customer, invoice is sales invoice. Salesperson, shop, product, and product list. But for my class, I will ask my student to combine product list under product. Okay, so product list here will be the specific items related to the product. So the product here will be the category of the product. Okay, so normally talking about the inventory, talking about the products, we must have the product group. Okay, we must have a stock group, we must have a product group, product category. So each product groups, we have list of the products. Okay, list of the products. So for my class, you just combine the product list under the same table of product category. So in total, we have 5 tables. We have 5 tables, customer tables, sales invoice table, salesperson tables, shop table, product table. So it will be manifested here in your Excel. You have product table, customer table, shop table, salesperson table, sales invoice table. Okay, so that's how you answer for this requirement. Table. State clearly the tables. How many tables? 5 tables. What kind of table you must have? So please uh, capture this requirement. Product table, customer table, shop table, salesperson table, sales invoice table. Okay, so what we are going to have inside the table, after this I will explain. But my first question here, any inquiries for tables here? Can I proceed? How many tables we should have, class?
5.
Okay, 5 tables. All right. Now, the second requirement for A, after you have tables, after you have 5 tables, you must have specific data fields or data attributes for each table. Okay. Now, we assess first the product table. Okay, this is your, what we call it, data attributes. Title of your tables. So we have a product ID. Product ID is a data attributes. Product name, data attributes. Type of product, data attributes. right? When you have a product ID, you can start to enter the data. That's for C. That's for C, requirement for C, dummy data. But now we are still talking about data attributes. So this is your data attributes. When you develop or design product name as one of your data attributes, and after that, you can enter your data. So this is what we call it data attributes. Like say that you have question asking, the development of data attributes. So if product table, your data attributes must related to the product table. When we talk about customer table, your data attributes must related to the customer attributes, customer profile, customer ID, name of the customer address, customer phone number, customer email. So when we have this data attribute class, after this, we can start to enter data pertaining to the data attributes. If your data attributes related to the customer name, then after that, you can start to record your customer data name. If you have a data attributes related to address, and after that, you can start to have customer data related to home address. Okay, right? Similar with the shop table, we have the data attributes related to shop. Shop ID, shop address, shop phone number, salesperson, and the rest. Okay, salesperson table, we have a salesperson ID, salesperson name, age, shop ID, education background of the salesperson. So make sure that data attributes that you are going to include related to that respective table. Related to that respective table class. So when you are dealing salesperson table, your data attributes must be related to the salesperson's characteristic. Because after this, you are going to create dummy data according to the data attributes. If you include the education background data attributes here, then after this, you need to enter data related to education background of the salesperson, of the specific salesperson. Let's say that Ain, education background here is bachelor degree. This is what we call it data, dummy data. But before you have the dummy data, you should know what kind of data that you want to include. So you must have data attributes. When we talk about sales invoice table, you must have data attributes related to sales invoice. Okay, you are so lucky class because you have me as your lecturers. I have prepared these data attributes. I'm going to suggest you to consider these data attributes. Actually, actually, I don't have to prepare these data attributes for my students because they need to think. They need to think. So you are so lucky because you have me teaching your class. I have prepared this suggestion data attributes file. You can consider to include in your tables. So we have all the 5 tables data attributes until 6 table. You can consider. But if you have other ideas, you can use your own data attributes. Doesn't mean that you must follow this one. It's up to you. But when I prepare this data attributes file, okay, for your data preparations, I have referred 20 websites. I have referred 20 websites, 20 articles, 20 websites, uh, uh, real business environment. I also asked my friends from industry that selling various types, range of products, what kind of data attributes they use to analyze or to record their data. So they also share with me. So I have combined all the resources and to prepare this data attributes suggestions. Okay. We have 2 types of data attributes. So make sure that you have both types, passive and active data attributes. Okay, what does it mean the passive data attributes? Passive data attribute is a kind of data attribute that you can analyze. You must have that data attributes. You must have passive data attributes in your table. For example, talking about product ID will be considered as passive data attributes. Why passive? Because this data cannot be analyzed. In Excel, we can perform analysis, right? We can perform analysis for micro function or macro functions using formulas, for example, using equal functions, using simple arithmetic functions, statistical analysis, simple statistical analysis, addition, subtractions, what else? Times, divisions, grand total, totals. You are going, normally the student will use some functions, okay, to find the grand total. So of course, some of the data that we are going to include here cannot be analyzed. For example, product ID. We cannot analyze product ID. For what? Right. Because they have a different, what we call it, data that we include. Product name. Product name is a passive data attributes. Right. We cannot analyze the product name. Similar with the customer table. Customer ID cannot be analyzed, but we still need to include passive data attributes normally will be used to visualize or to describe our customer, for example, customer table, to describe our customer profile in general. We cannot analyze the name. Are you going to analyze how many names start with Muhammad? There's no point. The business normally they want to know, you know, how many customers start with Muhammad. By performing the analysis, it can assist the general manager to make effective decision for the future sales performance. No, right? Address, of course, address also under passive data attributes, right? Phone number. What we need to do for the phone number, right? Are we going to analyze? Okay, so which customer using Maxis? How many customer using your mobile? We are not going to analyze that. But in our table, we must have both passive and active data attributes. Okay, age or income level, for example, income level. Income level be considered as active data attributes. By having this data class, by having this data attribute, by having the data under income level columns, we can analyze that. We can analyze, let's say that from 100 customer we have, how many customer with the income of 1,000 and below? How many customer, their incomes 5,000 above? We can analyze that so that we can make decision what kind of products we should produce to cater the specific need based on the income levels. We can analyze that. Sometimes age can be analyzed, right? Age can be analyzed. So we can understand that how many customer with the age of uh, 20 to 25 years old, because it will reflect the way of the marketing strategy to design promotion, voucher, and so on. If majority of the customer with the age of 20 to 25, so we should explore more customer for that age levels, because based on the data, it has evidence that majority of the customer in our business from the range of 20 to 25. So mean to say that how we are going to attract more customer with the age of 20 to 25 to buy our products. They are Z generation, for example. So we can explore more marketing strategy or method through social media platforms. So that data, when we analyze it, we can understand, we're able to visualize our future sales performance using analysis and the data that we have recorded. Yeah. Okay. So actually, when you select this kind of the what we call it data attributes class, um, of course we have the minimum numbers. We must have minimum numbers. Otherwise, you are going to select all. You are going to, to have all data attributes for active for analysis. So we must have a limitations. because you are going to prepare this PBF for 5 to 6 weeks only. So we must have limitations. So my recommendations for passive data attributes, for all tables, minimum for passive data attributes, you must have 3 to 4. So take note, take note, class rep, and all of you. Minimum numbers data attributes for passive condition, 3 to 4. Let's say that you choose product ID for product table, product ID, product name, product category. That's it. And of course, after that, you must list all the data. Okay. For active data attributes, you must have 5 to 6. Okay. You must have 5 to 6 active data attributes. But remember, I prepare this suggestion data attributes for overall. So does not refer to any specific business profile. For example, if Far East Group choose for fashion industry, so active data attributes can be used by the group. Of course, material, that's suitable. Size, yes, that's suitable. Talking about fashion, of course, color data attributes for active for analysis is suitable. But for flavor, it does not fit. It does not fit because we don't have flavors, unless in the future, or the dress that we wear, have a few types of flavor. We do not know that, we do not know that because innovation always comes with the new ideas. But logically, if you choose fashion industry, don't go for flavor, don't go for aspirations. There's no expiry date for t-shirt, right? Don't go for ingredients, don't go for smell. So when you choose your data attributes based on the list that I have prepared here, so you have to make sense which data attribute suitable with your business profile. All right. Okay. Any questions for the second requirement for A? Data attributes or data field. Other names, data fields, or sometimes we call that as data attributes. Any questions? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Primary A. Make sure that your team members attend the class today. Attend our class. Because of after this, you are going to segregate, the works to them. Otherwise, you need to explain to them how to prepare the tables. All right. Okay. Next, primary key. Okay. After you have the tables and you have designed your data fields or other names, data attributes, you must have a primary key. Okay. You must ensure that every table will have primary key. Product table, we have a primary key. Customer table, we have a primary key. Okay. What is a primary key? It's a unique key that we design, that we allocate to the respective data or record. Okay, that's why if you notice from my Excel, product table, the first column, your primary key must be in the first column. Okay, take note. The primary key must be in the first column for each table. Okay, for my case, and I believe you are going to copy the same idea, so please use product ID as your unique key, as your primary key. All right. So normally in business, we must have this primary key. When we are dealing with a system, in order to trace out our data, we must have primary key. So similar thing in our university, right? As a student, what is your primary key? Your student ID. So when you go to any departments, right, you want to transact with treasury department, you want to go to HEA department, HEA office, you go to the HEP departments, the only keys, the only ID that they will request to read your profile, to understand your student profile, is your metric IDs or student ID. So it's a unique key. So when we have designed many data, all data must have unique key so that we can trace. We can do what we call it sortations, query. You still remember AI 615 explained about query concept. Every database must have a query. So how we query, how we perform that query functions by using primary key. Yeah. So product ID will be the primary key for the product table. Of course, primary key here class is a kind of unique key. You should apply coding technique that you have learned from IS 615. We have a sequence coding, block coding, mnemonic coding, group coding. So for my case, for each table that I have, I'm using sequence codings. But it's good if you provide extra efforts. Perhaps for the product table, you will apply sequence coding. Customer table, you can apply block coding, right? For shop table, you apply uh, group coding. It's up to you. You can at least you must apply more than one. More than one the coding type. Okay. So you will show your extra efforts for your PBL work, and of course your group entitled for extra marks. Okay. Right. For customer table, your primary key is customer ID. Your shop table, your primary key shop ID. Salesperson table, salesperson ID. Sales invoice table, sales invoice ID. Who will determine this ID? Your team. Okay. So it's up to you. So you are the controller for this Excel. So you can always manipulate this Microsoft Excel because you are creating dummy data. So at any time you can edit the data that you have, but must logic and relevant. All right. Okay, that is primary key. Any question for the primary key? Okay, no questions. I will proceed for the next requirement. After you have the primary key setting, next you must have foreign key. Okay, all tables must have primary key, compulsory. You cannot skip that. And the primary key must be in the first column, column A in your Excel. But foreign key is not compulsory. It depends on which table require to have a foreign key. Actually, foreign key here will reflect data that you need from other tables. I give you a simple example. Under sales invoice table, the primary key for the sales invoice table is sales invoice ID. Sales invoice ID, the primary key. But under sales invoice table, we borrow the key from product ID. Why? Because we want to include data about the products. What kind of product we sold to that customer? Okay. Okay. I show you one example. Sales invoice ID is a primary key, 1001. That is sales invoice document number. When we sell the product that of sales, at what time? So the time, what kind of product we sold to that customer. So we need to get that data from other tables. So basically, product ID and the product table will be the primary key. When we borrow product ID from product table for invoice or sales invoice table, for this kind of the table, so it becomes foreign key. Customer ID, because we want to know, which customer buying these products. So we borrow the key information or data from customer table. So customer ID will be the foreign key. Okay, right. Sometimes you can apply uh, the foreign key, okay, under salesperson table. For example, salesperson table, salesperson ID is a primary key, salesperson name, age. Suddenly we have the shop ID. Shop ID here is a location we assign the salespersons. Okay, shop ID here will be the location, will be the branch, will be the shop that we hired or we allocate the salespersons, okay, to work. So we get that shop ID from other tables, right? Generally, shop ID is a primary key. So we borrow that key in the salesperson table. Shop ID will be the foreign key. So it depends on the selection of data attributes after this. So uh, you can apply not to all tables that we have. In total, we have 5 tables. Perhaps you must show your efforts how you apply the foreign key at least 2 tables, in 2 tables or 3 tables. So you must show your efforts to apply that foreign key. Primary key have no choice. You have no choice for the primary key because you must apply for all tables. But foreign key, please class, to achieve the requirement minimum marks for the PBL, so please, at least you must select 2 tables and include the foreign key. It's good if you have more than that. You get bonus mark. Okay? Right. So I have explained already requirement for A. Actually, I'm telling the answer. Right? So it's up to you whether you want to accept or not. You have another idea, so please, I always welcome that. Now, we move to C. Okay, we move to C. Demonstrate the soundness of your design by entering dummy data in each table. So that's the next requirement after you have the tables, after you have include the data attributes, the primary key and foreign key. So the next one will be dummy data. Dummy data. If you check from the English dictionary, the other synonym for dummy, of course, fake. Even the data is fake. It's not. I don't want to use the word of correct. It's not reliable, but you must ensure that the data is relevant. The way you include the amount, the way you include the names, the way you include the address, the data that you include in the table must be relevant and must be reliable. Even you are entering dummy data. All right. Your dummy data must reflect for 2 years of business performance, 2021, and current year is 2022, because you are going to perform analysis and do comparison for both years, 2021 and 2022. Okay, right. Now, I show you one example. Okay, this is how you enter the data. Okay, of course, class, we must have, when you want to enter the data, we must have a limitation, similar with the data attributes, right? Otherwise, never ending. So of course, you are going to ask me question, how many data we should have, how many dummy data we should have for product table. So minimum under product table, so please capture this information because I'm not going to repeat again. So all team members must responsible for this. Minimum number of product data you must have in the product table, 30 products. Okay, 30 products. Minimum product categories, 5 categories. Okay, so 30 products is your product list. That's why I combine the table for product list and product category. So you can have 5 categories minimum. If you want to provide more, yes, please. That's that's effort we show your commitment to prepare this PBL. Right? So of course, bonus mark will be considered. Minimum list of the product, minimum product items is 30 products. Okay, so I give you example here. The first product category, the first product name, okay, the first type of product or product category is shirt. Okay, under t-shirt or shirt, you have 4 product items. Product list, So you have X size, M, L, and XL. So you have 4 product items already. You have 4 product lists already. So mean to say that you need to create another 26 product, and then you must have another 4 categories. Okay. If you can provide more, yes, please. Okay, so that's complement. That will complement your team, to get extra marks, extra efforts, extra marks. All right. Any questions? Okay, no question. Okay. That's 2021 class, eh? You must have 2 years data, 2021 and 2022. All right, 2022, some student, they will combine both data under the same table. It's up to you, eh? You can combine both years under the same table or using the same table, but some student, they will split, okay? The data for 2021 and 2022 using different tables. For example, here, product table dash 2021. For 2022, they prepare another sheet. They prepare the table using another sheet. So product table dash 2022. You are going to use the same data attributes, but the data that you have for 2022 will be different with 2021. Okay, for product table, some student will ask me question. Logically, the business will retain the same product list, right, for next year. Assume that 2021, your previous year, your past year data, 2022 will be your current year. I know that your current year is 2023, but assume for this PBL, your current year is 2022. Okay, so can I copy products from 2021, make it exist in 2022? Yes, you can do that. But remember, my words just now, you must have extra efforts. You can increase number of products numbers in 2022 by adding another product list. So you can maintain all the 30 products minimum you have in 2021. So you copy the same thing, assume that the product still available in 2022. Perhaps you can remove some of the products in 2021 and you add another new products in 2022. You can do that. So use your creativity to manipulate the data records. Okay, right. That's for product. Customer. Customer class, of course, you must have customer list for 2021. You must have a customer list for 2022. Okay, now minimum requirement for customer, you must have 100 customers. 100 individual customers. Okay, all right. Okay, so the similar question, can I copy the same customer because they are repeating customer? Okay, the similar customer repeat the purchase. Yes, you can maintain the same customer. But for customer table, I think you should copy 60 to 70% of your existing customer in 2021. Another 30%, another 40%. Why not you create the new customer details? Logically, based on this statement, after 3 years in operation, the business has become very successful. So based on this statement, supposedly we should have additional number of customer, right, for 2022. So you can copy all the 100 customer. The 100 customers still buying product with your store. So why not you add another 20 or 25 new customer in 2022? So that present your efforts. Okay. You can maintain, like say that you retain the same customer in 2021 for 2022. So of course you are using the same customer ID because the customer still exists in 2022. For new customer, for the new record, new data, you must create new customer ID. Okay. All right. For the shop table, minimum, based on the question, you must have 5 shops. Can I provide more? Yes, you can, especially 2022. Okay. You can use the other terms such as branch or store or outlet. Depends on your business profile. All right. Okay. For salesperson table, I know that from the case problem questions, the number of salespersons has clearly mentioned. Yeah, I know that. 13 in total. Okay. Wait, class. Before we proceed with the salesperson table, okay, for the shop table, exclude the HQ, exclude the HQ. Because otherwise, you are going to create more sales for HQ. So every year, HQ better than branch, better than shops, other shops, in other locations. So exclude HQ. The shop that you have here refer to branches, okay, in another location other than HQ. Assume that HQ only manage the admin part and the production, but in terms of selling activities, will be in charge by shops, by branches, right? So no HQ concept in your shop table. Okay, the salesperson also reflect for shops only, exclude the HQ. So I think it's good if you have a minimum for each shop or branch, three salespersons. You can combine, male and female. You can combine. You can also have three female salespersons for one branch. You can have that based on your creativity. But since you go for 5 shops, 5 branches for the minimum numbers, in total you have 15 salespersons. Okay, can you have more? Of course you can. All right, so you can have more than 15 salespersons. Okay, for the sales invoice table, but remember class, you must have both years. For each table you must have data for 2021, 2022. Okay, so you can prepare separator like this one. You can prepare separator 2021, and then after you know uh, manage to uh, create dummy data for 2021, so you can have separator for 2022. Like I mentioned just now, some students they don't want to combine both years under the same table, so you can create another sheet with the same name but different years. Okay, uh, same goes to customer table class. You must have a 2021, 2022 shop tables. Let's say that have the same number of shop tables for both years. Just copy the same thing. But I hope that you will provide extra effort to at least add another one new shop for 2022. For the salespersons, use your creativity. Perhaps in 2022, the salespersons, 2 or 3 salespersons, decided to leave the business, and you have a new salesperson in 2022. Some of the salesperson in 2021 does not exist in 2022. So use your creativity. Yeah. All right. And then for the sales invoice table, this one you must have 150 to 200 sales transaction, and it must represent transaction from January until December for 2 years. So 150, if we go for minimum, 150 for 2021, 150 for 2022. So normally this for sales invoice table, the student will prepare separate sheets because of they are going to have more data, more dummy data, more sales transactions to be recorded in this table, right? They want to um, makes the table looks messy, unorganized, because the table full with data, full with records. So they will create another sheets for 2022 for the same name of the table, sales invoice table. You put dash 2022, right? So it's up to you. Some of the students will request me, will get my advice. Can I have more than 200 sales transaction because I noticed that my profit amount is too small? Yes, you can have that. Of course, for the first place, I will advise my students, can you increase number of units purchased by the customer? I have increased already, but it seems that's not logic for individual customer buying 100 units per person. That's not logic. Can you increase the price of the products? I'm selling kits. Uh, I I think the price of the kits already reached the maximum amount, based on the normal price in the market. So I cannot simply change the price. Because you can set the formula, right? You can set the auto count function, auto calculation, or auto sum, function using Excel. So the students almost give up, okay, to change the data for sales price, reduce the cost, because all the three efforts they apply produce, you know, unlogical sense. It does not make any, logic, logical data, right? Reliable data. That's the appropriate terms. So I advise the students. I think what you need to do is to increase your sales transactions. You add another sales transactions, and the student agree with that. So don't limit yourself to these minimum numbers. If you want to have, at the end of the day class, when you finish this task, your PBL task, you will see that your graph looks, in terms of the amount, you are having 5 shops, for example. You are selling, let's say that, fashions products. Your profits only 30 ringgit. 30 ringgit, eh? So I have that case, eh? The student present to me that my final profit is 30 ringgit. The transactions derived from January until December. It seems does not, logic, reliable. Is it okay to have a 30 ringgit profit? I think you guys will aware, at the end of the PBL work, you will aware that your data, in terms of the reliability, the relevancy based on your business profile, for me, must be revised. So that at least profit that you earn for each year more than 10,000 at least. I don't want to force you to have 1,000 transaction. Don't do that. I'm not going to encourage you to have more than 500 transaction. Don't apply that. At least you will set your data figures, especially the price, the costing, the profit. At the end, your profit amount more than 10,000 at least. Okay, at least. Right? Okay. So my another advice, okay, from me to your groups, to your team, when you prepare this table, the primary key, the foreign key, as well as to include your dummy data, the way you assign the job, the way you assign the task to group members, please follow my advice. Uh, I think we just need one person to arrange product table. We just need one person. One person, one students, go for customer table. You can combine uh, efforts uh, to prepare shop table and salesperson table for one student. So the same student will prepare shop and salesperson table. One student only. That's enough. But I think you need to have more students, at least 2 students, to prepare sales invoice table. Because you have many datas, many records, many sales transactions for the sales invoice table compared with other tables. All right. So I hope that you will assign at least 2% to prepare this sales invoice table. Okay, salesperson table, shop table, these tasks can be combined and assigned to one person, to prepare it. Customer table, one students. Product table, only one students. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? For C, that's a requirement. For C, creating dummy data. Even it is dummy data class, but you must remember it must be logic, make sense, reliable, and relevant, to the table. Okay, any questions?
No,
Uh,
sir.
no. Okay, you can reach my data attribute suggestions, this one, and my ERD relationship for my Padlet under teaching materials. This one. Wait. If you refer my teaching materials, teaching slides for AIS 655 and short notes. So under that column, you will reach my short notes. Notes that I have used to explain the ERD and suggestion for data attributes. Okay, this column for AIS 655 only, teaching slides and short notes. Okay. Okay, I will show you examples. Give me 5 to 10 minutes only. I want to show you the example for my past students, how they prepare the data. Okay, these students focus more on supplements, supplement business activities. So they are selling supplement products. Okay, this is how they design the primary key, a unique key dedicated to each records. So you must have a different keys to be applied for in your tables. For this one, the student I think using block code. Block code because A means Appleton. A means Appleton. B means Blackmores. Block. They have blocked already the coding. A stand for what? Yeah. Sorry, not A. AP. And then after that, combine with numbers 001, 002, 003. So you cannot dedicate the same key to other similar or different products. Okay, so they have a few passive data attributes. Product name passive. The student also provide descriptions. Description of the products. You can analyze descriptions. We can analyze this one. Okay. Normally, we will not analyze the selling price. We will not analyze the cost. Right. Packaging size can be analyzed. This is one of the what we call it active data attributes. Packaging size can be analyzed. From let's say that from the 50 products that we have, this group of students they made it for 50. They prepare 50 products. That's why I should compliment for the extra efforts. You go for minimum 30, you can do that, but it's good if you can provide more. Yeah. Okay, packaging size, we can analyze that. Right. From the 50 products that you have, we can analyze types of packaging that we have. We can analyze the supplement form. We can do that. For the customer tables, this is how they prepare that. We have the customer ID for the primary key. We have a names, right? For the names here, I'm okay if you just provide short names. So if you decide not to include Bain or Bainty or father's name, it's okay. Okay. For number cannot be analyzed. So this is passive. Email cannot be analyzed. Right? Gender can be analyzed. Gender can be analyzed. Let's say that how many customer for this one? Let me check. This student provide lots of data. I'm not sure how they do that. 300, 300 customer, 300 customer for 1 year. Uh, Based on 300 customer in total, let's say that 2021. So how many customer for male? How many female customer we have? So you can analyze that. So you can make a better decisions based on the analysis that you made. Let's say that you are the general manager, so you found that majority of your customer female. Yeah. So you must do something how to attract, because you believe that based on the data, majority of the customer female. So you must think about special promotion. You must think about product related to female usage, right? And you must also think about how to increase number of male customer. So it will assist, based on the data that we analyze, it will assist the manager to think about a solution for better sales prediction in the future. Okay. So we have the salesperson table, branch tables, sales tables, and using the same workbook of the Excel, normally the student will use the other sheets for analysis. So at the end class, if you look at the requirement for this PBL, after C, okay, we have another paragraph to be explored. But the highlights of the paragraph here actually is requiring your groups to prepare few types of analysis. Few types of analysis. So basically, we have three main categories for the analysis. Analysis related to the sales and product performance, analysis related to the customer, analysis related to salesperson. So we have a specific analysis that we need to perform, including other relevant analyses. Okay, some of the students, uh, when they provide great efforts preparing this PBL, after they have the dummy data, they will start to analyze it. Right? Even I still not discuss the requirement for D, but they start to analyze it. That's good, so because they know already what they need to do for the next phase of this PBL task. Sales trend analysis by month. So they have the data already. So they will perform the analysis to identify the sales trend by month. This is how they perform the analysis. So they will provide grand total for 2021. They will provide grand total for the sales in 2022. But your PBL 2021, 2022, so this PBL was designed, I think, 2 years ago. So your super senior 2020 and 2021, they use 2020 and 2021. So they will total all the sales amount from January until December. They will do the comparison. This is how they analyze the data they have. Of course, to analyze the grand total, to sum up all the total that you have, what you need to do is to have the data. So when you have the data, you can proceed with this analysis. Okay, after you have this analysis class, plus, minus, subtraction, division, times, and so on, all right, what's next? Normally, the question will require the students to transform the total here, the analysis that you made, into a proper charts or apply visualization techniques. Okay, so users of the report, normally they don't prefer to see the figures. I believe you have learned a lot from FAR subject or other subject that always talk about users needs accounting information. Users needs to know about information. Even nowadays class, if you review the annual report by public companies, they are not only serve the users with the figures, they also serve the user with visualization techniques. So using Excel, we can make this happen. So by having the figures, by having the total, by having the analysis, so we can transform the analysis using appropriate charts. Normally, the student will apply pie chart, line chart, bar chart, column chart, and so on. So we have many charts that are available in the Excel. For sales trend analysis by month, I think line chart will be the most appropriate visualization technique that we can apply. So from here, you guys will go for interpretation. So after you have this chart, you need to interpret. So that interpretation must be prepared using Microsoft Word. So you have to transfer this chart to your Microsoft Word. After you have embed the chart in your Microsoft Word, you need to explain your analysis conditions based on the chart that you have. Okay, For example, if we compare 2020 and 2021, in 2020, the highest sales amount recorded in the month of April, while 2021, the highest. So you have to explain that. And you must tell the reason why we have more sales performance in April compared to the other months. So we have to find points from internal factors and external factors. So that is what we call it big data and data analytics skill that every students, every graduates must have. If you want to join industry after this, they are looking forward graduates with that skill. Analytical mindset. You have the data, you will analyze the data, you will visualize the data. Based on the visualization, you will assist the management to interpret. The way you interpret does not only depends on general interpretations, but you have to interpret based on economic conditions, based on the government policy, based on the political stability, based on the global demand and supplies. So that will be your next part for this PBL. The final phase of this PBL is to interpret your graph. Okay. So if you look at the requirement here, after you analyze it, then you have to identify, highlight issues, right? And prepare the managerial report. So you are going to assist the general manager and the sales manager to identify the reason why certain products perform, why certain months we have recorded the highest sales amount. So we need to look at the economic situations, present policy, global factors to support the point, so that it can assist more the manager to make decisions what we need to do next, what we need uh, to apply for the upcoming sales activities. So don't look at D, E, F, because we will discuss that. But I hope that you will start to think about D, analysis. But your focus here for your first progress presentations, A and C. Okay, first progress presentation will be held when? Week 9. Okay, week 9 class. If you check your lesson plan, wait. Okay, week 9, before your semester break 2, before your harvest festival and Gawai break. So week 9 will be your first progress presentations. So what you need to present? A and C, yeah? A and C. I mean, present straight away from your Excel. No need to prepare any slides. No, you don't have to prepare slides. So you present from your Excel. So using the Excel, present your data, present your tables, present your data attributes. Okay, so assume that the intention of this progress presentation is to assist you. So when you, attend the progress presentation, of course, I will facilitate you what you can do to improve your Excel. If you present nothing, it will affect your marks. So you must ensure that you have a complete dummy data, you have a complete, task for the A and C. Okay, if your Excel incomplete, it will affect your presentation marks. And remember, your first progress presentations marks is 5 marks. Okay, so 5 marks also significant. Some student they can achieve 5 marks. Some student they only achieve 1 mark. That's why the 30 marks of your overall PBL assignments, not only from your Excel, not only from your final report, of course, derive from your presentations. So we have 2 progress presentation. So the first progress presentation is to know your data situation for A and C. So make sure that you have complete data for A and C. All right. So we have, starting from today, you have 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to do for A and C, for your Excel. So present straight away from your Microsoft Excel. You don't have to prepare slide. No need to prepare PowerPoint slide. Right? So just explain from your Microsoft Excel. And of course, I will provide my recommendations. Okay. So if you ask me, all the team members should present? Yes. All the team members must attend the presentations. Must assist other team members to answer my inquiries and my questions. Right? So you have to back up. And you must tell me your plan for your PBL. Okay. Any questions? Okay. I will continue this Friday because part of what we call it, part of this PBL, we have the theory slides. The theory slide will explain why the accounting student need to understand or learn data analytics topic. What kind of the what's the relevancy of data analytics topic for accounting discipline? So we have a theory slides. Okay, so the theory slide will be discussed this Friday. Of course, again, using Google Meet. Okay, platform. If no question, I think you can start to leave this Google Meet. Thank you so much for today. So take care, everyone. So see you this Friday. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, sir.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Ada pembicaraan kemudian kemudiannya atau